Bada bada boom. Chapter 5 is this? Duty. Yeah, chapter 5. This is where shit goes down. After a night of turbulent dreams, my consciousness returned to the shores of the waking world. Today's the day of the fireworks. Who shall I bring? No one. Whatever I've been doing it all wrong. I think last time I had 2 characters to choose from, but no, I've really messed up. I was trying to go for Anna, but whatever I was doing must have been completely wrong. She's completely shut me out, and I don't think I went far enough with any of the other characters to trigger anything. Okay, go alone. While I was sure any of those I knew would agree to watch the fireworks with me if I asked, I ultimately decided to go along, not wanting to impose on anyone if they hadn't asked me first. After making some preparations for the day, I set out to experience the fireworks I'd heard so much about. Oh man, I'm Billy No Mates. Okay, when I left my apartment, I realised just how eerily deserted the rest of the place felt. They really weren't kidding when they said everyone would watch the fireworks. I imagine there were a couple of designated places people gathered for the purpose. I'd no doubt they were crowded beyond belief. While I waited for the fireworks to start, I looked at the area around me. With no soul in sight, I realised I hadn't actually spent many nights outside, and was reminded of the day I'd arrived here at my apartment in total darkness, with only Remy by my side. Soon, the total stillness was broken with the sound of the first rocket ascending, its explosion painting a circular pattern in the sky. More rockets followed, their quantity and frequency steadily increasing. That's them fireworks. This is going to be a weird ending if there's no dragon to accompany me. What ending am I going to get? As the explosions battered my ears, a terrible realization hit me. Considering how public of an event this was, and how everyone would be watching the fireworks, now would be the best time for Reza to make his move. Not only was the village basically deserted, but the sounds of the fireworks would also overshadow any gunshots, giving him as much security as he ever would have. As the portal had been repaired by the administrator, Reza would have no trouble making his getaway, and I was the only one who knew about it. I ran to my apartment and briefly considered calling the police as I grabbed a few things. However, I soon remembered that they were not only understaffed, but I might waste precious time if I tried to do so. Off I go, on my own. Bryce is also dead, so there's not a lot of backup. I arrived at the portal just a few minutes later. I couldn't help but be glad that it was still turned off and didn't appear to have been used recently, but it meant Reza was still here somewhere. I looked around, thinking about where it could be, or if it was worth waiting for him here, when I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Hesitating, I drew nearer. Man, Sebastian's like the best character. Why you gotta kill that guy off? Okay, so all of the police are now dead, apart from Maverick. I checked Sebastian for any signs of life and found nothing. However, the body's still warm. Reza was here until recently, but he hadn't used the portal just yet. Why? Sebastian's guard post was not only for the portal itself, but also the surrounding area. Since Reza was already here, he probably had some unfinished business very close by. The underground building. The administrator had told me about the prowess of the generators within. It probably hadn't been hard for Reza to guess the same, or to try stealing them from a place he knew would be even more deserted than the rest of the village was right now. He also didn't have far to go from the portal. All things considered, it's the only option that made sense. I could have waited for Reza there, but in the end I decided it would be better to meet him underground. If there was going to be a confrontation, I was sure I would have the advantage in a more crowded space. Even in the darkness, it was easy for me to spot the site where they had unearthed the building's entry, as it was in a roped off area that I had seen from afar. Okay, let's go in. No friends, no backup, no nothing. Okay, when I entered the building, I was met by a long illuminated hallway that was lined with doors on both sides. Since the lights were already on, Reza had to be close. I wasn't surprised at the building still having electricity, since its generators were also powering the portal. Suddenly, one of the doors opened, and out came Reza carrying a large cardboard box. When he spotted me, he set it on the ground. Yo, what's up, my dude? You're here. You don't know how glad I am to see you. I've wanted to talk with you for so long. I even tried to contact you, but I couldn't with someone tailing you the whole time. Talking can wait. Now that you're here, we've got everything. Come on, help me with this and let's go. No. No, what are you talking about? I'm not doing anything until you answer a few questions. You want to talk now? Sure, why not? We've probably got a few hours if you wanted to. None of them will disturb us here. We can even get the backup generator as well after we send this one over. This is true. We have no backup. We have no friends. Bryce is dead. Sebastian is dead. When did you realise we were in the past? How did you know about the comet? I've known for a while. It's what I wanted to talk about you when we met for the portal. How about you? Only recently found out. Yeah, looking back, it just seems so obvious to me now. I'm not sure how exactly you figured it out, but there are so many damn clues when you think about it. I mean, how could supposedly completely different independent civilizations speak the same language as us? And what was this supposed to be? An alternate reality? No, it was just a different time. When was there ever anything resembling these creatures on Earth? It's not hard to make the jump from dragons to dinosaurs when some of them here look pretty damn near identical to dinosaurs that we know about. And then there are also the prehistoric fruits, the plants, and the fact that their technological level is nearly exactly the same as our own past society. But we don't even have to think that abstract, you just need to look at the sky. The sun, the moon, and even the stars are the same. Constellations change over time, of course, but you know we could account for that stuff. You could have just pointed your PDA at the sky, and it would have told you this time period, including the imminent threat of being eradicated. You could even see the meteorite up there, and see how it would change its position day after day. Are you done being condescending? I guess so. You killed those dragons, Reza. What a brilliant deduction, Sherlock. Okay, so yeah, you also killed the babies, didn't you? The eggs. Why did you do it? Do you really need me to spell it out? I thought better of you. After I found out the truth about this place, I knew just waiting for the generators we were owed was not an option anymore. It would have taken who knows how long, but I didn't intend to stay a day longer than necessary. You wouldn't believe how hard it was for me to acquire some generators. Some of the dragons didn't go down easy. But who cares that they got back the generators I stole? With just the one, we won't need any of the others. Okay, how could you do it, mate? You suck. How? Let me ask you, what harm is there in taking the generators when their whole civilization will be gone in a few weeks anyway? The ones I killed just died a little earlier than scheduled. Even if that creep hadn't shown up and interrupted our meeting, we wouldn't have had the time for them to make the generators for us. How about we don't let them die at all? They're going to be extinct anytime soon, if that's what you're concerned about. I paid the hatchery another visit before I came here. With the right persuasion, I think we'll have plenty of reasons to keep at least some of them around. Bodyguards, border patrols, weapons, even as pets or companions, as long as we make the necessary changes. See, it's not as bad as you might think. I'm not going to just abandon them like that, only for their whole civilization to be wiped out. Get your priorities straight, mate. Next you'd rather starve, because you suddenly empathise with a steak, and you're not satisfied just starving by yourself. No, you're going to let all of us starve, because you want to impose your morals on everyone. Since when do you think that you get to have any say in this? You know why you're here. What you're proposing is treason, and you know the consequences of this. Personally, I don't mind if you want to stay here. You know I don't care about corporal punishment. Let me through, and you can do what you want. No can do. I see how it is. They've told you they need this generator to stop the comet, haven't they? And now you've become their lackey. Don't tell me you've been drinking up what they've been telling you. You know they have as much of a vested interest in this whole thing as humanity does, that I and you do, or at the least used to. Do you think they wouldn't do the same thing if it was their families on the line instead of ours? Their entire world is on the line here. They live in perfect harmony with their perfect green energy source and no reason for wars or conflicts, yada yada yada, bing bam boom. We had that too. You know what happened then? Of course you do. This is such an idiotic trope, you know. Random person meets weird natives, learns their ways, and ends up saving them. What do they need you for, though? Maybe they're just going to be extinct for a reason, if they can't even save themselves. You know of our suffering, yet we'll let them have it. I don't care what happens to them, but unlike you, I was trying to save humanity. At any cost. We have the solution right here, and you want to get philosophical now? Don't you think we deserve it? They had it for who knows how long, now it's time for us. Not like this though, bro. You think I like it? If there was a different way, I wouldn't have spent the last few weeks doing what you didn't. We don't live in this fairy tale world of yours, where there's a perfect solution to everything. You should know that. Just being here for a few weeks must have messed you up, mate. I think I know why. You got too used to all the comforts they have here. You actually don't care if they all die back home, do you? As long as you can stay here in this perfect little world of yours, you've discarded everything and everyone back home, and replaced it with this. Maybe it's because you didn't have a life back home. I can even understand that a little. Of course, it would be nice just to stay here, and they have everything that we don't. But being here also reminded me of everything I hated about our world as it used to be. The pettiness and the politics. Say about the solar flare what you want, but it leveled the playing field and gave people like us the chance to make a difference. For all of our efforts, what did we get? A vote that was meaningless in a sea of stupidity and liars. Now everyone has to pull their own weight. We make the rules. You, of all people, should understand. Of course they wouldn't. They haven't experienced how it is to live like we do now, to see the world burn and everyone you know die around you. And because I have, I won't let the same thing happen to them. How many do you think died back home just in the 2 weeks you've been here because you didn't have the power for the hospital? Do you think those victims aren't worth mentioning, or do you just care about the few dragons I killed? Our city is the last bastion of a civilized society in a world where nothing else is left. Maybe you've forgotten about them, but I haven't. How many of us do you think that will be there in a month or a year? Or are they just a statistic to you? The same could be said for the dragons, mate. What do you want me to do? Talk me down from this, and then what? It's too late anyway. You think they're just going to let us go after what I've done? No chance. Whatever you may think, you find that our leaders back home agree with my course of action. Why are you telling me this though? Because I expect you to join me. Not going to happen. And you call yourself an ambassador? This generator is the only thing we need for our city to survive. How can you even argue about this? The dragons also need that generator, and I'll do what's necessary to stop you if I have to. So that makes you a judge, jury and executioner. What a wonderful set of morals you have there. We only need to wait until the comet has passed safely. And you think you can stop a comet, and you need this generator to do that? Sure, and if your plan fails, not only is this world gone, but we also lose any and all help to save our own. We're so close. We can't risk anything by waiting for your crazy plan when back at home there are people dying by the minute. I won't let you. You only want to save your own two-faced hide because you don't want to face the consequences of what you did. Oh, didn't like that one. Crazy man. Why are you laughing, you crazy man? I'm the one with the gun, and you thought you could just waltz in here and lecture me? Listening to you is fun and all, but the grown-ups must get back to work now. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't stop me now anyway. Actually, I can. I opened the cloak I was wearing to reveal an improvised bomb I had made from a generator. What the hell? This is new. This is a twist. And what's this? You showed me how to do it with the little trap you set at the farmhouse. That wasn't intended for you. It wasn't. Doesn't matter. You set it for someone. You set it to kill. Where did you even get a generator? After the police reclaimed the generators you stole, it was easy for me to take one when I was alone in the department just in case. I set the bomb on the ground between us. With it between me and Rizzo and the exit, he would have to listen. So what now? I'll tell you what's going to happen. You leave the generator and turn yourself in. You know what? I think you're bluffing. If you set off that bomb, not only do we both die, but you destroy the generators as well, and with them, any chance of saving either world. You would never do that. He pulled out his gun and pointed it at me, and he slowly started closing the distance between us. Oh shit! What's it gonna be? Killing all of us, or just this world? Reza was right. In reality, the bomb provided no real leverage against him. If his goal was truly to save our city back home at any costs, he would not turn himself in. Even if the threat of setting off the bomb was a real one, his best chance would be to at least try to kill me now. I turned around and ran. Go! I heard gunshots. Immediately, I felt the most excruciating pain I've ever experienced resonate through my arm. As I kept sprinting as fast as I could, I heard a beeping sound that made me realise I'd inadvertently activated the bomb when I was hit. Oh. Out of bullets, Reeves was not far behind me as we both scrambled toward the exit. Kicking back down. Just as I reached the outside, the bomb went off. The explosion battered my ears as the shockwave sent me flying. I collided with the ground and immediately felt a hail of debris. I cowered, waiting for it to die down. After a few seconds, I turned around and looked at the sky where the fireworks still painted patterns in the stars. With one hand, I reached toward my injured arm only to find it wet with blood from my bullet wound. My whole body was numb. But I can't give up now. I slowly got up, looking around to the area to get some perspective of the situation. Not far from where I was, I saw Reza lying on the ground, not moving. Oh, you got some glass in your back there. Bit of shrapnel. There's the gun. Take the gun. As I got closer, I spotted the gun next to him. I won't let them find this. I took it with me, hiding it in one of my pockets as I started making my way towards the portal with slow and uneasy steps. Oh, blurring. I was shaking and my vision was blurry. Every inch of movement felt like a new and harder chore than the last. Eventually, my legs gave in and I collapsed on the ground. That's not good. I resigned to my fate and I watched the night sky illuminated by the colourful explosions of the fireworks. Suddenly, I was lifted off the ground, and as I opened my eyes, I saw the masked face of the administrator. I just could not let it happen. I had to stop him. I had to try. The administrator started moving, carrying me. Unfortunately, it seems like the generators were destroyed as well. So this is how it ends, with humanity doomed to fade into history and the dragons facing extinction. All hope is not lost. It never was. What are you going to do? I'm going to send you back in time. We'll just try again, and maybe we'll do better next time. By now, we had arrived at the portal. The administrator gently sat me down before moving towards the portal's controls. You'll probably forget most of what happened. The teleportation tends to do that sometimes, especially when someone's transported several times in quick succession. Maybe you'll remember a thing or two, and maybe they'll help you do better next time. Maybe. See you on the other side. I heard the sound of the portal starting to do its work as the numbness and pain suddenly left my body. Things I'd experienced and things I hadn't flashed across my mind as I was teleported. I felt free. I can hear it gearing up, this teleportation. And that's the end. That's the second time I've got an ending, and I got a really bad ending that time because I didn't even get any of the dragon endings. So it wasn't even a bad ending for a dragon. It was just no one likes me. I have no friends. Completely nothing. So, oh man. I want to try again. I don't know what I did with the Anna thing. Maybe I shouldn't have gone back with the bandage. I think that might have really pissed her off. And after that, I just couldn't get anything from her. But yeah, I guess I'll have to try again and try for a different ending. But this, yeah, it's quite a fun game. And this is Ushio signing off. And hopefully I will see you next time.